Is gentlemanliness a lost art, or is it still valuable today? Does the term gentleman bring up images of an antique knight in shining armor battling courageously for a woman, or a man dressed in an expensive suit, eating in five-star restaurants and tipping his hat? As a result, the concept of gentlemanhood might be difficult to grasp in today's tumultuous and changing world. The term gentleman raises an interesting question. What does it mean to be a gentleman? What traits do gentlemen have? Well, we're about to find out. Stay with us to the end to discover the 10 traits of what a renowned gentleman are. Welcome back to Reign Supreme, a channel to impact influential, powerful minds. With the passing of time, these antiquated ideas about what it means to be a gentleman have lost their relevance. Being a gentleman no longer entails having a high social status or a large net worth. Indeed, one does not need to go any further than in the evening news to see that money and power do not purchase the class. Being a gentleman these days is a personal preference. In order to get this honor, you must demonstrate an unshakable dedication to improving your character. In order to achieve greatness, one must not settle for anything less than continuous improvement. Instead of being self-important, guys who are gentlemen don't take themselves too seriously. As a result, instead of focusing on themselves, they focus on helping others achieve as well. To be a gentleman, you must consider the impact of your actions on those around you. In the end, it's all about the people. Nowadays, it's quite rare to locate a true gentleman, and many people question whether they really exist. They certainly exist, but in today's fast-paced society, they are a rare breed. If a man is able to be strong and not whine about things, does that mean he is also a gentleman? The answer is no. There is a strong desire to get a lot done in a short period of time. Because of the pressure to do better, they've lost sight of the core beliefs. To be a real gentleman, one must always have a high sense of self-respect and a sense of purpose in their daily activities. Without further ado, here are the traits of a gentleman. Number 1. A gentleman is imperfect. This is perhaps the most essential trait to consider. The word gentleman does not refer to an unreachable ideal. Rather, it refers to a fundamental human nature in which we all make errors, decisions, and judgments on a daily basis. The difference is that a gentleman doesn't think he's perfect. Instead, he owns and takes responsibility for the things he can control, like his actions, knowledge, and attitude towards the world. Number 2. What makes a gentleman presentable? In retrospect, this isn't really a surprise. A well-dressed guy knows how to dress for the season, the event, and his own personal style. When it comes to dressing nicely, a man doesn't have to spend a lot of money. Rather, he only has to carefully choose his clothes and accessories depending on his budget, the event, and his own preferences. His attire reveals that he understands the importance of clothing and its significance in society. Instead of shocking, evoking envy, or showing off, clothes are worn by gentlemen to demonstrate their respect for their hosts, their offices, and the event's hosts. The gentleman takes great delight in how he presents himself, since it speaks volumes about his character and sense of style. Number 3. A gentleman is self-assured and ready to act. A gentleman is confident in his abilities and his plans. In other words, he prefers to make a choice and stick to it rather than vacillate between options. According to a wise man's insightful words, you will develop some direction if choices are made, regardless of whether they are correct or wrong. There are times when most of us are too afraid or bashful to take action, no matter how big or small the issue at hand may be. However, this is not the case with a genuine gentleman. He doesn't care what other people think because he only has his aim in mind and nothing else in his heart. As a result of his actions and decisions, he accepts full responsibility for them. Number 4. In the event of failure, what do we do? When things go wrong, we tend to point the finger at someone or something else. The question is, what do we do when one of our decisions turns out to be very bad? It's either someone else's fault or our own bad luck that we blame for the misfortune. So if you've been doing this, you're not a gentleman. A genuine gentleman is unafraid to make a choice and is also unafraid to admit when he's wrong. It's not like they run away and hide in their caves when bad things happen to them. Instead, they own up to their mistakes and are ready to make things right. Number 5. A gentleman values time and discipline. Gentlemen are naturally disciplined. It is a part of him that he bears inside him. Gentlemen place a high priority on discipline. You will notice them preparing their own beds, being self-sufficient, well-organized, and adhering to their own routines, seldom breaking their own living standards. When it comes to respecting time, you'd best be on top of your game with them. To them, time is a precious commodity that must be used wisely and not squandered. Being late is one of the few things they feel irritated about. Number 6. A gentleman is fair and impartial. Gentlemen do not accept favoritism, whether it involves their own friends, acquaintances, or even strangers. They have faith in their own abilities. They also seek to ensure that, while they are in office, no one receives more than they have earned, and everyone has a fair opportunity to succeed. When it comes to a gentleman's view of life as a battle, there will be no fun or pleasure without adversity. Regardless of race, religion, or gender, they treat everyone equally. They believe that everyone should be treated the same way, and they want to spread that idea to everyone else. Number 7. A gentleman shows chivalry isn't dead. Especially if a guy takes the time to search in the correct areas. It's not. However, chivalry as a notion is still very much alive and active in modern society. Essentially, chivalry is a matter of excellent manners, empathy, and the ability to forgive. Number 8. A gentleman does not always initiate. As previously said, chivalry has not died. Rather, it has changed. Therefore, whether it is the first move, the last move, or any number of in-between movements, a gentleman understands that it is meaningless who made them. As long as you're both fully consenting adults and present in the moment, just be pleased you found one another. Number 9. A gentleman always communicates effectively. One of the hallmarks of a gentleman is his ability to speak clearly and listen intently. They feel motivated, engaged, and understood by his communication skills. The way they keep their voices and body language under check in order to make the most impact. Although they understand that hearing is a passive physical function, listening is an active mental process that needs concentration and effort. Thus, they make an effort to listen intently to others' viewpoints while simultaneously clearly stating their own. Number 10. A gentleman never divulges information. There will be no gossiping. There will be no spreading of scandalous rumors or speaking poorly of others. As a gentleman, a genuine gentleman constantly maintains the integrity of both himself and others he interacts with, and that involves keeping any affairs or disagreements under wraps. Nobody likes someone who has a foul mouth. However, the word gentleman may not be as widely used as it formerly was. This phrase, though, has a long history of being used to signify a man of class, character, and value. Thus, these were the most distinguishing characteristics of a gentleman. We could go on, but it wouldn't be as important as these. How many of these traits are in your personality? Don't be hesitant about posting your scores in the comment section below. If you're a true gentleman, we'd like to know. Also, let us know what it means to be a gentleman in the present era. We want to know your thoughts. We are now at the end of our video, and we hope you've gained insight and value today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all upcoming videos. We appreciate you and thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.